Well, hey there. Welcome to the Pawpaw Chronicles and More with Jim. Well, today what I'm going to do is transplant into a root trapper bag. And I really like working with these. And what I'm going to do is show you something that I've been doing. And a lot of people would say, why? Well, there's a lot of reasons why. Because I enjoy it, for one. I'm going to get some dirt down into the bottom of this bag. And then I'm just going to pack it around the bottom edges because we want to get rid of as much wrinkling as we possibly can. And I'm going to need a little bit more dirt on the top. And then I'm going to check it to see how it's going to work for me. Right here I have a pawpaw that I'm going to transplant into this bag. This pot is a 5 by 5 by 12, and I transplanted a bunch of them. Believe it or not, this seedling right here was only about that tall, maybe about 3 or 4 inches tall. Let's check our depth, and our depth is pretty good. Although I'm going to add a little bit more, and there's a reason behind that. And I'll explain that in a minute, just a little bit. Now, if I can dump this pot and transplant in there, but I don't want to do it that way because I don't want to disturb any of the root system that is here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you something that I'm doing that some people would consider to be a cardinal sin. I'm going to come down here to the bottom of the pot and I'm going to cut loose the bottom. Bear with me just a moment. Make sure that's loose, okay. Mind you, I'm keeping my hand underneath that pot because I don't want dirt to fall out of there prematurely. There. Now we're going to set this to the side, and I'm going to break out this blade. And I'm going to come to the top of the pot, and I'm going to cut into it, and I'm going to slice down, just like that. And then I'm going to turn the pot around. Mind you, I'm still holding on to the bottom, because I don't want anything to fall out. And opposite side of the cut I just did, make sure I'm on the opposite side, I'm going to split it. Then we're going to set this to the side. Let's take a quick look, and I'll show you. Take a peek in there. There's a lot of root there. And now we're going to get this pot, this plant, a new home. And I'm going to remove this bottom. I've lost probably about a ½ inch of soil down at the bottom. And then I'm going to take this pot, I'm going to set it all the way down in there. Boot it just a little bit, and there we have it. Now what we're going to do is we're going to fill around the pot a little bit of soil. Trying to make this as quick as possible so the video ain't too long for you. A little bit more here. A little bit more there. Now, we still have a lot of wrinkling going on. And what I do is I take this little 2x4 and I go in between the inner part of the bag and the outer part of the pot, hold the bag up, and I push the dirt down in place. I'm booting it. Getting rid of all that wrinkling, compacting the soil a little bit. Not too awful much. Turn this around to where I can actually see it. And right here, I can see wrinkle right here real heavy. I don't want that. I want that to be nice and tight down there in the bottom. There, she's nice and tight. Just set that down to the side there real quick. And now that I've done that, it's opened up the bag a little more to where I can work a little more. And I'm gonna put more dirt around the pot. There. A little more on this side. There we go. And I'm just gently pushing the dirt in place because I'm going to push it in a little bit later. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for where I made my cut. And right there it is. And I'm going to go ahead and finish that cut, moving it upwards. Just like that. Then I'm going to turn it around. Find that cut, insert the blade, and there it is. Now it's time to release this tree from this pot. And like I said, a lot of people say, well, I'd reuse them pots, man, if you just dump them. Well, yeah, you could do that, but you stand a chance of disturbing the root system. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around the edges of it, pack in just a little bit on the edge. And one other thing I like to do is I'm going to take the dirt from the top, drop it back into the tub. I'm going to work my way down as I'm doing it. And then I'm going to massage just a little bit, because what I want to do is I want to expose root matter. And there's a reason for me wanting to expose the root matter, in which I will explain. Let me pick this bag up and then I'll show you, try to show you what it is I'm looking at that I've just done here. You can see the root matter that I've exposed in there. Now, what I'm going to do is set it back down here. And something else that I do have here, I have mycorrhiza. Mycorrhiza is a fungi, and the mycorrhiza will actually attach itself to the root system, and it'll send out a microscopic hair throughout the soil. And what will happen is the tree and the mycorrhiza will work with each other, and the tree, through photosynthesis, chlorophyll, creating of sugar compound, will help feed the mycorrhiza, and in turn, the mycorrhiza will pull nutrients and moisture from the soil and begin to feed this tree. So it's a symbiotic relationship between the two. But we're going to get this in here real quick. It don't take much. We want the mycorrhiza to actually touch the root. It's a good scenario that I'm doing here for that tree. Now, The soil I have is what I've shared as far as a mix. It's a mixture between compost, composted cow manure, composted leaf matter, pro mix, and we have biochar in here. And the biochar has been charged up with a fertilizer that will help feed that tree for an extended period of time, because the biochar is like a reserve. It's a reservation of the nutrients that I charged it up with. Now that I got that covered up to that degree, I'm going to take a slow release nitrogen type fertilizer. It's a very slow release, and I'm just going to dust it around the perimeter of the bag, the outer perimeter of the bag, the drip edge of the tree, if you so say. And there you have it. And then I'm going to cover that up with a little bit of soil. There. Now all I got to do is water it in. I could do a number of these bags at a time and not worry so much about watering right away, because I haven't disturbed that root system to really cause any stress. And nicely done. Now, why am I doing this? Well, for one, I'm giving the root system room to grow. For two, all that dirt matter is loaded with nutrients. You set this to the side. And something else that I do want to show you whenever I put this down, and give you a reason as to why I'm doing this. Let me set this down right here. Get rid of this dirt, put it right back into the tub. And although this is not a pawpaw, it's a persimmons. Now, earlier this year, I had decided to take some persimmons that I had grafted. This is a grafted persimmon, Victor Derbianco, and I decided to put it into the root trapper bag, because persimmons, once you put them in the ground, man, they really take off. Now, earlier this year, when I stuck this inside the root trapper bag, this tree was only this tall. So we're looking at maybe 9 inches tall. You can see from right here, I can see where the terminal started. From right here up, it pushed growth. And look how much growth that has pushed since I stuck that into this bag. Last year, I had the same scenario with 2 persimmons, and I did the same thing. And that's what provoked me to do this with this persimmons. And right now, I got one on the other side of the garage. I'm trying to get it hardened off because I'm going to plant it out there. That one there was the same size, roughly, as this one was last year. And right now, that one there, from the soil up, is 6.5 feet the last time I measured. It may have grown a little more because it grew another 6 or 7 inches after I brought it out for hardening off. And this is the result I got from the persimmons. So I thought to myself, if I can get that kind of growth out of persimmons, and that bag can do that, for that persimmons, along with the usage of the greenhouse, what could it do for one of these? So we're going to see what happens. I have a few of these that are in the greenhouse, And I've got a number of these that are in the nursery. All right, now I'm setting on roughly around 52 to 53 of the pawpaws inside these bags. And that's the reason why I'm doing what it is that I'm doing with these pawpaws. But this right here convinced me to do this right here. Anyways, that was just something that I want to show you. Yeah, the pot that I cut is pricey, but in the long run, where is the value? The value is in the tree. It's not in that pot. The pot helps it, but the value is the tree itself. Because next year, this will be grafted, and it'll stay in this bag for another year within the confines of a greenhouse to try to get this kind of growth. And I think we're going to get that. I'm really pleased with what I'm seeing with the usage of the root trapper bags with the persimmons. Anyways, set this off to the side. What I'll do is I'll water it in, and once that dirt settles in, I'll top it off with a leaf compost as a mulch on top of the soil. And as I water that leaf compost, just like right here, it'll begin to decay and create somewhat of a tea as I'm watering in. And that there has really broke down. Anyways, my name's Jim. If you like what you see, subscribe. Don't forget to click on that bell for any notifications. Any comments or questions that you may have, I welcome. Y'all have a God bless day.